race fans, it's Taylor, and welcome back to Above the Yellow Line, the show where we talk all about the NASCAR Cup Series. And there's a little bit of stress in the air right now. We have classes starting, we got work for everybody around the country. We got equipment malfunction just for me. My camera's not working, so we're a little stressed about that. We also have the upcoming season starting in about a month and or less at this point. But you know, what's more stressful than that for me personally is preseason predictions. I like to be right, and making predictions means you have the chance of being wrong, being completely thrown off. But then I was like, you know what? It might be fun. Might be fun to see how far off we are, how close we were to getting some things right. Per request on Twitter, I'm deciding today to go through my 2022 NASCAR Cup Series predictions. So without further ado, let's get to it. So here's how this is going to work. I have 7 preseason predictions that are pretty general. They're not related to the playoffs. And then I'm pulling out the big guns. I am doing my preseason playoff prediction. They're in no particular order right now for points-wise, but I'm going to go through the round of 16, round of 12, round of 8, championship 4, and of course, who I think your champion is going to be for 2022. But let's start with our generalized 7 predictions. Now, to preface this, I'm going to go through more specific driver expectations when I do the grid walk video ahead of the Daytona 500, where I go through the lineup for this season, where drivers are, where they all moved to, and what I think we should expect from them and their new team. But for now, we're going to talk a little bit about that, but we're not going to go into a lot of depth. So let's start with prediction number 1, going with Brad Keselowski. So, we know he's going to be at RFK, part-time team owner, full-time driver. That comes with a lot of expectations, but I think he might have an advantage here over the rest of the field. And yes, he's going to be in a new team, but he's also, like I said, a team owner. He's going to know these next-gen cars really well because he has to for his team. He has to know how to best change these next-gen cars, how to get the best performance out of them at least. So, here's what I think is going to happen for Brad. I think he's going to get 2 wins next season. I know this might be a lot, but I think if anyone can do it that's going to be in a new ride, it's going to be him. He's veteran, he's seasoned, he can adapt really well, he's very wise, he's very quick with learning. Also, I think one of these wins, though, is going to be the Daytona 500. I know this is spoiling my pick for that race, you know, to begin with. However, he's very good at super speedways. I think he has the most wins of anybody at Talladega that of the current Cup drivers right now. I could be wrong. Fact check me on that. But regardless, I think he could actually win the Daytona 500 this year in that new RFK equipment. Obviously, it's not going to be as good as a Penske car where he's leaving from, or a Hendrick car, or a Joe Gibbs Racing, but, you know, nothing beats knowledge, and I think Brad Keselowski has the knowledge to get him that 500 win and get himself 2 wins in the 2022 season. Speaking of 2022, let's talk about the driver of the 22, Joey Logano, for prediction number 2. Old teammate Joey Logano. Now, here's the thing. I'm kind of stealing this prediction from Dom Joseph, who now runs track limits with Above the Yellow Line. And, you know, I think it's a really solid prediction. Now, he thinks that Joey Logano is going to go into the championship 4 and possibly be the champion for next season. And here's why. If you look at the stats, every even number year, Joey Logano has been in the championship 4. It's pretty impressive. So if the trend continues, then Joey Logano should be in the championship 4 this season. So I'm going to say that Joey Logano makes a championship 4 appearance this year, though I don't think he's going to be the champion, because for prediction number 3, I think Hendrick Motorsports is going to retain the title. I think the front runners for this, obviously, Kyle Larson. Chase Elliott, he struggled a little bit last year. He did not win at an oval circuit, which has me concerned, but with these next-gen cars being more built to run on road courses, I think he has a better opportunity to make it to the championship 4 and potentially win the playoffs. And then I think you have to look at William Byron, who had a statistical best season last year. If he can continue and build upon that, I think he could be in the championship 4 and be a dark horse for the championship. Alex Bowman, I'm not sure about him yet. We're going to have to see how he does next year in the next-gen car, so we'll have to see. Prediction number 4 and 5 have to do with newer drivers to the Cup Series. Prediction number 4 for Tyler Reddick, at least. I think he's going to get his first Cup Series win in 2022. There's no doubt about it for me. Not sure which track he's going to win at. I'm thinking it's going to be a one where you can really ride the high line of the track, or, you know, Harvick it, or even, I guess at this point, Kyle Larson it. Do some sort of video game move, but I think Reddick is going to be really good at those. He's also pretty decent at road courses. I think he's a well-rounded driver. A lot of maturing to still go in the car. He made some pretty iffy judgment calls when he was behind the wheel last season, and I think it dropped his chance of winning a race and also caused a lot of trouble for other drivers. So I think as he's maturing in the car, I think there's a good chance for him to win in 2022. Now, prediction number 5 is for Austin Cindric. I think he's going to really blow us away next season, and I really hope I'm not jinxing him at this point or not putting too many expectations on him as we all did with Bubba Wallace. We're all like, oh, he's going to win. mini races. He's going to have top 10s, top 5s. I think we really blew our expectations out of proportion for Bubba Wallace. Obviously, he did get a win last season at Talladega, but this season we really have to see his stats improve and have him get more wins. Not a rain shortened win. Like I've said before, rain wins are still wins. However, I want to see him get a win in general without the rain delay. But for Austin Cindric, I expect him to actually also make it into the championship contention. I expect him to make it past the round of 16, actually probably getting out after the round of 12. We'll have to see if that actually happens, and I know it kind of spoils my playoff predictions here a little bit, but I have high expectations for Austin Cindric. I think of any driver coming into the series, from the Xfinity Series to Cup, he has the most potential that we've seen in a long time to be successful, and especially going to the number 2 car at Penske, being in the same team, I think he has a really good shot at getting a win at least, especially at a road course. So we'll have to see what's in the cards for Tyler Reddick for being prediction number 4 for winning a race, and then Austin Cindric for winning a race and getting pretty deep into the playoffs. The final predictions in my 7 prediction list is with tracks. They're a little vague, they're a little bit opinionated. Nevertheless, I think we're going to see this. So prediction number 6 regards Bristol Dirt. I think after this year we're done with it. At least it's a hope for me. It might not be a prediction more so than it is a hope, and I think we're going to see Bristol Dirt go away. One, there are multiple tracks around the country that are more suited, that are actual dirt tracks, but are more suited for the stock cars in the Cup Series, so that's one. 2, there has been rumors, speculation, especially Steve Phelps just even flat out saying in 2023, 2024, we are really shaking up the lineup of these tracks. We want to go someplace new. This is new, but come on, you cannot mess up classic Bristol. Bristol is beautiful on its own. Don't put dirt over it. Now, however, I do think they're giving this track, this dirt track, the best chance to succeed because they are running this race at night this season, which I think will give the dirt a better chance at kind of surviving through the night, giving these drivers not a lot of dirt to have covered their windshield and everything. So I think they have a better idea after learning from last year's mistakes of how to maintain this track better for these drivers. But regardless, I think this will hopefully be the last year we see Bristol Dirt on the schedule. The final prediction I have for 2022 is, like I said, pretty vague. It's about a track. Started of the Americas, I think we're going to see Redemption for. Now, hear me out. If we did not have the rain that we had in the horrible calls from NASCAR and the dangers and all those crazy wrecks, I think we would have liked this track much better. I think we have to give it a second chance, and I think, weather permitting, we have a really good race this year. I think COTA is set to be set in the NASCAR Cup Series schedule for years to come. I love this track personally. I think it's very edgy and it's really fun. I like watching the F1 races at Circuit of the Americas. I just think it's a really fun track and almost is roller coaster like for me. I mean, as soon as you get that start finish line, you're going up and then you go into a turn. And I think that's so cool. You can't see where you're going. You got to kind of predict where everyone else is going around you. It's a really, really exciting track, and I think leaving it off the schedule would be a shame in 2023. So I'm hoping, like I said, weather permitting, and NASCAR makes the right calls to keep these drivers safe, especially with practice and qualifying back this season. We're going to see a really solid race at Circuit of the Americas. So guys, these were my 7 predictions for 2022. And now for what I'm dreading and what you've probably been waiting for, my preseason playoff predictions. All right, like I said, we'll revisit these in the middle of the season or as the races have come up. But for these playoff predictions, they are in no particular order of points. Obviously, when the playoffs start, we'll have a new video with all the drivers that are set to be in the round of 16 and how I think that will go. But for now, let's just do kind of a light dusting of what I think the round of 16 is going to be. We'll dive into it just a little bit, but not a whole lot, because there's still a lot of learning to do as the season goes on, but you'll have to hold me accountable to who I thought was going to be in the round of 16 to start off. But here we go. Round of 16, here's who I got. We got Tyler Reddick, Austin Cindric, Chase Elliott, Ryan Blaney, Denny Hamlin, Kyle Busch, Kyle Larson, Kurt Busch, Kevin Harvick, Martin Truex Jr., William Byron, Alex Bowman, Joey Logano, Brad Keselowski, Christopher Bell, and Ross Chastain. Now, some of these I might have to explain a little bit. Cindric, I think, is self-explanatory. We talked about it earlier. Tyler Reddick, he's still learning the car. He's spinning out a lot in these practice sessions, but I think that's him. I don't want to speak for him, but it's testing the limits of these cars, trying to see how much he can push or not. Also performed better than his teammate last season, got into the playoffs. We also have to keep in mind, though, there's probably going to be some surprises in these playoffs as these drivers are still learning this new car. There might be somebody who really catches on to it quick, like maybe Corey LaJoie will win a race and get into the round of 16. We don't know. That could actually happen. I might have to add that to my predictions, but, you know, this round of 16 list is pretty set in stone right now, so I'm not going to change it. But maybe maybe even Bubba Wallace. I was actually thinking Bubba Wallace could probably be switched for Ross Chastain, but I think Chastain could have a good shot of getting into this playoff because of the road courses, and this car is really designed to run these road courses really well, and Ross Chastain is a very good road course driver. I think that suits him well. Obviously, yes, there's the move from one team to a new team, sort of, kind of, like I said, Chip Ganassi Racing has the assets moving over to the new team that he's going to be doing is Trackhouse. So, I don't really know. I think he has a good shot, though. I think Christopher Bell shocked us all last year. That's why I have him in the playoffs. If he did well last year, I mean, I gotta expect the same thing from him, if not anything more. So, that is my round of 16. Let's go to the round of 12. Here is who I have in. I have Austin Cindric, Chase Elliott, Ryan Blaney, Kyle Busch, Kyle Larson, Kurt Busch, Martin Truex Jr., Joey Logano, William Byron, Christopher Bell, Kevin Harvick, and Denny Hamlin. Who do I have out of the round of 12? Well, it's Ross Chastain, Tyler Reddick, Brad Keselowski, and Alex Bowman. For Alex Bowman, it's no secret, he's not as good as the other drivers at Hendrick Motorsports right now. At least he has to still find consistency. However, he did win, as we know, more times than championship driver of 2020 Chase Elliott and William Byron, who had his statistical best season in 2021 in the Cup Series. He just has to find that consistency. Of course, winning is great, but when you don't have the points to back you up, especially when you get into the championship run, it's going to hurt you getting into the other rounds, and I think Alex Bowman's going to have to find out this next-gen car. He's going to really have to work with it. So that's why I don't think he's going to make it past the round of 12. I think Tyler Reddick, a little self-explanatory here. I think he has a lot of learning to do in the car. I think he's a solid pick for the round of 16, not the round of 12. Chastain, new team, pretty self-explanatory. And then Brad Keselowski, maybe I have to explain this a little bit, but like I said, part-time, with the new team owner, full-time ride in the 6. I think he's going to be balancing a lot, and I think his focus is going to be towards building the team, though he wants to focus on his performance as well as a driver. I think he's going to have to focus on building the team this year, working out the next-gen car for that whole team. Therefore, I think maybe he's not going to make it past the round of 16, but like I said, I was surprised last year with Brad. We don't even know. Now to the round of 8. This one might be a little controversial with who I have out, but here we go who is in. We have Ryan Blaney, Chase Elliott, Denny Hamlin, Kevin Harvick, Joey Logano, Kyle Busch, William Byron, and Kyle Larson. Okay, so that means these are the people who I have out. We have Christopher Bell. For me, a little self-explanatory, I think, performance-wise. Like I said, I expect him to do better, but compared to everyone else, the heavy hitters that could be in these playoffs, I don't think he's going to make it. I think he's going to be edged out. I have Kurt Busch being out. Like I said, new team. I had him making it into the round of 12 because he is a veteran driver, and he's not taking on a whole lot. It's just he's getting into a new ride. But I also don't see him being in the best equipment to move forward into the round of 8. And then Austin Cindric, again, he's in good equipment, but being a rookie driver in the Cup Series, I don't see him making it past the round of 12, and even that is a really big achievement. One driver I did not mention is Martin Truex Jr. I had this in my bracket last season, but I did not think he would make it past the round of 12. I was proven very wrong, however, when he made it into the championship for 2021. So this is, again, a little bit of a risk I'm taking with Martin Truex Jr. because he is a quieter driver, and I think he really benefited last season from having his best tracks in the final, I think, round of 8 bracket, and then moving to the championship 4, obviously, he had Phoenix, and he's great at that track. So that's where he got lucky. He could have that again this season. It really depends on where the points fall for him, but I also see him getting edged out by other competitors, and I think some younger drivers, too, this season, as I think they'll have an edge in these next-gen cars. Finally, the championship 4. Like I said, Joey Logano, I think, is going to make it to the championship 4. It's an even number year. I think the stats prove that I think he has a good chance. Then Kyle Larson, I don't think that's a surprise either. I think Denny Hamlin could make it into the championship 4. This could also be one of the years that he doesn't. Maybe we see him start to really decline. Maybe we start to see him moving towards more wanting to do ownership roles than driving, but I also know he still was really hungry for that championship, so that's why I put him in the championship 4. And finally, I want this to happen this year because it didn't happen last year by just a hair and because bad luck with Austin Dillon. But Ryan Blaney, I think, is going to be in the championship for 2022. I think Chase Elliott, this is one, it might be a little bit of a surprise. I think Kyle Busch, his performance is wavering a little bit. That's why I kept him out. Kevin Harvick, we saw his performance waver last season, and he's going to probably be retiring in 2023, so I'm like, maybe he's not going to be in the championship 4. But Chase Elliott, now, we already mentioned, his performance was not really as good last season. A little bit of a concern for him, this next-gen car that's road course focused So that could benefit him, but I really don't know. He's a question mark for me, and I hate to say that about Chase Elliott. But for making it into the championship 4, I just didn't really see that this year, and he was my championship pick last season. And I don't know why I did that. I think it was just because I was like, if Kyle Larson doesn't win, somebody else in Hendrick Motorsports has to. And that was my backup plan. But this year, I don't see it in the cards for him being in the championship 4. So my championship 4, finalized for now, for the preseason, is Kyle Larson, Joey Logano, Denny Hamlin, and Ryan Blaney. Now for the champion, I'm playing it safe at this point. It's going to be Kyle Larson. I think he's going to retain the title, get 2 years in a row being a championship for the NASCAR Cup Series season. I don't think there's any explanation needed past that point, but guys, those are my 2022 preseason predictions. We'll follow along with them. We'll see what we've gotten right, what we've gotten wrong in the middle of the season and throughout the season. But guys, that was it for this video of Above the Yellow Line. Let me know your predictions in the comments below, and thank you all so much for watching this video.
For more racing content, make sure to follow Above the Yellow Line on Twitter and Instagram for behind-the-scenes footage on what we're working on next, as well as daily questions and the latest news from NASCAR. If you're looking for more content from Above the Yellow Line outside of the Cup Series, make sure to follow Track Limits run by Dom Joseph and ATYL Trucks run by Adam Lucas on Twitter for F1 and Truck Series news.
All linked in the description below, but before you do that, make sure you like and subscribe to this channel, share this with your friends and family, and everybody, thank you all so much for supporting Above the Yellow Line, and until next time, I'll see ya.
Before you go, make sure to check out the description below for the link to enter the Above the Yellow Line 2022 giveaway. It's one you don't want to miss.